Wait, no. Okay, I'm just kidding. Okay, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Gaming Central Podcast, episode 4, first ever episode 4, mind you. I am one of your hosts. My name is Greg McConnell. Find me across all platforms and on Twitter at Iced Goose. It should be right here. I'm joined as I'm the voice of God right there. My co-host, as I'm always joined by the Zelda loving, Dr. Lovin, Zelda nerd, Dr. Loving, Corey. My eyes are always green because I have to pee every 30 minutes. Stover. Find him across all platforms at C_stove. How are you, Corey?
I'm good. How you doing? I mean, my back kind of hurts because I tweaked it this morning, but...
Oh, yeah. I always forget you're like 80 years old as well.
Yeah, I'm only 77, Greg.
Oh. Okay. Well Go ahead. You go
I was asking how you are, but you have another question?
No, I was just going to be like, how's the back?
It's good. I have an ice pack on it right now. It's kind of leaking, so I have cold water going down my butt crack right now. So
basically you got diarrhea is what you're saying.
The cleanest diarrhea in the world, yes.
Hey, real quick. Did you know that diarrhea is hereditary? Because it runs in your genes.
That was on Last of Us, the pun book.
It totally was. Yeah, I was laughing so hard last night at that.
Oh, I made her read every single one until she stopped.
I did too. I was like, triangle.
Did you also do all the skull shakes? I did every single one of those.
Yes, I did. It was so stupid.
Anyways,
but we'll get to that. For those of you who don't know, this is the Gaming Central Podcast, a weekly get-together between myself and Corey, and every now and then someone else. It's where we sit down and we discuss video games that we're playing through together. We break down the elements of these video games into what we believe are the 5 most important aspects, and then we rate them. We do all of this best of our ability, spoiler-free. Once we're done with video games, we like to end each episode by going into a little nerd corner. In this nerd corner, we break down different nerdy media that we are interested in. This week, in the Nerd Corner, episodes 6 through 10 of the Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood show.
Hey, Greg.
With that out of the way, what's up, Corey?
Can you guess which corner of mine is the Nerd Corner?
Which? It's probably the one with the strobe light with the seizure.
Yeah. I'm really sorry about that, guys, by the way. Like, if somebody starts seizing, just let us know.
I feel like we just need some, like, party boy music or something, like... Fu Manchu just pops out. He's like doing the shuffle in the background.
Anyways, continue. Sorry for interrupting.
I need Lorena. No, I like this. I need Lorena just to pop in randomly wearing like one of those 90s like full alien outfits. Like
with the light green,
just, like, doing the robots. Like
or in one of those T-Rex costumes.
She has like the finger lights and
glow sticks. Like,
yeah. I need that to happen just at some point.
It might happen eventually.
Yeah. All right. Before we really dive into the serious stuff, some people left some comments and some questions. Corey, do you have those pulled up?
Yes,
we like to start each show with answering some questions that you guys leave for us in the comments below and on the Facebook groups. You can feel free to like and comment as we go along. Subscribe to the YouTube channels for our weekly uploads and join our Facebook groups at Game Clubs and Gaming Central. And we'd like to interact and talk with people. So, without further ado, Corey, what you got for us?
And you can find the links to both of those groups in the description. So, for those of you that don't know, on my personal channel, I put up these episodes a week later. So right now I'm reading from the actual Gaming Central.
Hey, Corey, what's your personal channel? How do people find it?
C Space Stove.
C Space Stove, not C_stove, like on Twitter and video games?
Nope, no underscore, just the C and stove.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, on the actual Gaming Central page, we have Iced Goose.
Oh, I wonder who that is.
Didn't know you started recording that early. Yeah, I caught us doing some weird stuff on the last one.
For you guys who don't know, it's not just like we don't just plug in and like connect with each other and just start up. Like we have like what? I'm at 23 minutes currently.
Yeah, we do a little rundown first.
Yeah, we do like a warm up and like exercises to get our voices and faces ready. And Corey hit record before.
I thought I'd try to catch.
That's why sometimes you'll see us doing stupid stuff while we get ready. Yeah, because we're stupid.
So SNES Mapper, he says you can pronounce my username.
Shout out SNES rap. SNES.
What?
Mapper. Mapper. Snapper.
I wonder if that... Anyways, he says, you can pronounce my username any way you guys want. I really don't care and don't have a preference myself. Haha. Your podcast is definitely helping.
I struggle. I struggle with it.
Your podcast is definitely helping to get through this whole work from home situation. Keep up the good work. And since we're in the theme of this virus/pandemic situation, I thought I'd ask what are your favorite Resident Evil games?
Ooh, good question. Now, let me go first. I know I've talked more, but let me go first because Corey has played way more Resident Evils than me. And by that, I mean I've played one Resident Evil game.
Really? I forgot about that.
I never played it growing up because I was a little sheltered. My mom wouldn't let me play M-rated games. And I'm a big baby. You guys will find that out about me. I get jump scares get me all the time, even when it's not a jump scare. So Resident Evil games are like the bane of my existence. Corey and I, however, Corey being a lifelong lover of the series, him and I played through Resident Evil 6 together. It's co-op online, and there's like, were there 4?
There's like 5 or 6.
Yeah, there's like, you both can play through as a character on each one, and several times, like, those characters go on different adventures, but most of the time they're together. So we played through all the storylines once. And the plan was to go back and like switch characters so we can get like the extra trophies. But I really enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun. Corey says it got like some really poor reviews compared to other.
People hated that game when it came out.
But I thought it was really fun because we played it online together. So when we were getting scared and stuff, it was together. We're both like, it was really great when we were separate. Our characters were separate, and we're like talking to each other. You're like, oh, this is happening, and then one of us would be like, ah, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
but I really enjoyed it,
so
and I would play through it again. It is my favorite. It's also my least favorite. So I mean, take that as you will.
Yeah. So I have beaten Resident Evil 2 on N64 like 5 times or something, and then got halfway through Code Veronica X. I've beaten 4, 5, 6, and 7. And I think that's it. But I've had...
I really played the remakes.
Yeah. Me too.
Resident Evil 2 looks great. And Resident Evil 3, I hear mixed reviews, but it still looks fun.
I also want to do the Origins collection with the tank controls gone. I feel like that'd be amazing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Side note. After Corey and I beat Resident Evil 6, I tried to go back and start the series because the whole time throughout the game, Corey's having to explain to me who these characters are. He's like, oh, this is this person. And, oh, this guy was in number 3. So I tried to go back in the tank controls in the mansion and won because I think you're Leon in the mansion.
What system did you go back and play it on?
It was, I think the PlayStation 3. Like you can buy the game on the PS Store.
Oh, yeah.
I got like 2 hours in the tank controls. It's so hard. Like I'm not good at tank controls. Yeah. Whoever thought that was a good idea is bad.
If you don't know what tank controls are, guys, basically forward is like up is forward no matter which direction your character's facing. So you have to, even if you're facing like the screen, like yourself, up is walk forward. So you have to get used to like turning and then up, turning and then back, like a tank, you know?
And the camera angles were really getting me too.
Yeah, they did those on purpose though for like scariness. And
I know, but it got to the point where like I'm an explorer when I play games, and like I like to look everywhere and go back, and it would like the jump scare had already happened, so I'm like, now I just need you to fix it. Yeah, just let me control the camera freely.
Yeah. Well, so I've beaten all those Resident Evils, so I've had like really good experiences, but different experiences with both of them. Like for instance, I platinumed 5 with my buddy Junior, our buddy Junior. And
shout out Alka Smeltzer.
Shout out on Twitch, and I don't think he has YouTube anymore. But
I don't know. He's a cool dude.
But yeah, we platinumed that together, so that was really fun. Greg and I didn't platinum, but beat 6, and then Alka Smeltzer.
That's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We played through 7 at the same time. We were like on Discord talking, like both live, going through 7. It's on my channel, by the way. And so that was really cool. That was a really unique experience too, because like if one of us accidentally got ahead of the other one and then screamed, like you just know something's about to come up. And so yeah, that was pretty cool. I think overall though, like if you just take all the experiences out and just go strictly by game, I have to go with 4. I think 4 is...
Everyone says 4 is one of the best games ever, right?
Yeah, but everything before 4, my favorite's Code Veronica X. That game was amazing.
Is it like a side story?
It was actually supposed to be RE3, but they wanted a numbered sequel so bad, and it was like not far enough into development, so they went ahead and stuck 3 onto Nemesis because it was already almost done. That was supposed to be the side game, and threw that out as Resident Evil 3. So Code Veronica X is actually more important.
So it's actually like the direct sequel to 2?
Yeah, it's actually the actual, yeah. Like you play as Claire Redfield and... Who's the other guy? Who's the dude? I never played the dude half of it. You play as the first half as Claire, I'm pretty sure. And then you get to the guy half. And sorry, this is kind of long-winded, but I got all the way up to the boss of the first half and had no ammo at all. Like, literally not a bullet. And I figured, oh, they'll give me ammo. No. I had to restart. I remember being in Junior's trailer back in the day. Restarted it and got all the way up to him again. By then I was burnt out and I didn't continue. But anyways, moving on to the next comments.
Oh yeah, shout out shout out Snapper.
SNES Mapper is what I'm saying, but I don't know. What is your favorite Resident Evil, by the way? I'd like to know that too, because he's big into Resident Evil too.
My I don't know if it's my headphones, but you're like cutting out. So hold on, I gotta change headphones.
Okay.
Technical difficulties.
I guess that'd be a good thing to figure out, huh? Do I sound okay now?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So it was you?
I think those headphones are just crappy. Sorry about having to use a gaming headset, guys.
It's okay. It's okay. You look like a weeb.
Yeah. I ain't no normie.
Okay, so on the other channel, on my channel, we got someone named Non-Copyright Music. I'm pretty sure this is the same person that had a different name that had sub to me in the name. Do you remember that? Last episode is like in his name it said sub to me.
Oh.
And he said, the best, when's your next video? Also, I want to be friends.
Let's be friends.
All right.
But we have to put titles on it.
Yeah.
We're titled people.
Yeah. So, Wayne, I think...
Oh, can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
Snapper, SNES, what is your favorite Resident Evil? Did you ask that?
Yeah, that's what I asked him, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Your headphones were
I was cutting out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Wayne, I think he might have thought we were live. Did you see all those comments?
Oh, really? Yeah, I saw that Wayne left a couple comments.
He said
shout
Lords... What?
I said shout out to Wayne.
Yeah, Wayne Hoxick. He said Lords of the Fallen got extremely mixed reviews, and they said it's a clone of Dark Souls series. I don't like the Souls games, so I'll probably never know.
And I guess I've never heard of Lords of the Fallen.
I think it... Is that game with the dude? He's like really close to his face on the cover, and he's got like blue paint on his face. I don't know. He says, whose rage is more extreme, Ellie or Joel in The Last of Us?
Definitely Joel.
You think so? I've seen Ellie get a little like too.
Yeah, Ellie's like always just right here.
Yeah.
You know, in her rage mode, and then like when she messes up or like does something to upset Joel just spikes through the roof.
Yeah.
Like I think she's at a more constant rage, but like Joel like goes above her in those bad moments.
Yeah. And then did Dwight have real extreme rage or just extreme rage on The Office?
Real extreme.
Yeah, Dwight.
The Office.
Is comic book guy uptight? Real uptight or extremely uptight on The Simpsons?
I've never seen The Simpsons.
Yeah, I can't remember him that well. I think I might have answered that before. I heard some Mario games are getting remastered soon for Switch. I heard that too.
I would love that. Please give me Mario 64 on
If you guys
Switch.
don't know, it's supposedly going to be a collection with Mario 64, Galaxy, and Sunshine, which if they did that, I would... Oh, yeah. Okay.
What about... I want them to do Super Mario World. I would love like an updated Super Mario World. I don't know if you can really remaster that, but...
The thing about the Super Nintendo games, those games are so well made that they're kind of more timeless than the next generation after them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, really being the side-scrolling 2D action, like it's really hard to like improve upon that, like because you're not gonna make them 3D. Like it would be a different game.
Yeah.
but still, give me it.
Does Ellie have a real extreme rage or extreme rage in Last of Us? Real
extreme, not real extreme. It's extreme.
Okay, so yeah, Wayne, thanks for those comments. I'm gonna skip a few of them, but
I saw that there were several.
Yeah, I appreciate it though. So yeah, what's next on the agenda?
Is that all the comments and questions?
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you guys so much. Again, we'll start off every episode with any comments and questions you have, as long as they're appropriate. Like, we're not going to be like, get down into like real deep, dark stuff. So it's not like Ron Burgundy on the Anchorman. We're not just going to read whatever you write.
I'm sure
if you've seen that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to a little, what you playing, Corey? So, Corey, what you been playing, brah? What you been playing, dude?
So I finished Last of Us and Left Behind, which we will discuss.
Did you play? Did you end up playing on PS4, the remaster?
Yeah, and that was good. We're going to discuss that in a minute, though. So also Recoded, beat a world in that, and I've been playing a ton of Persona 5 Royal.
Now, when you say a ton, like I know how you play JRPGs. Sorry, can you hear my dogs?
Yeah.
They're barking. I think someone knocked on the door. When you say a ton, you mean like 30 minutes to an hour?
I'm about 12 hours in.
What? Corey, I am very proud of you because honestly, I think that's about as long as The Last of Us is. So basically, you beat another game.
Yeah, this game just keeps you rolling though, because like I said, like every single day, you're just like, oh, I got to do this, and it'll make you wait till tomorrow. So, oh, I got to do this. I don't know. A game is crazy.
Well, tell me about it. Without spoiler free, tell me about it. I haven't started mine yet. I plan on starting it within the next couple of weeks.
I'm just now getting a little bit more freedom in the game because literally, like I'm still doing tutorial type stuff. Like they're still teaching me stuff, and I feel like
12 hours.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
there's a lot to go.
Have you beat the first like dungeon or temple or whatever they call them?
I am almost done with it. I was gonna finish it today, and I got sidetracked. I was like about to go do it, and then they were like, oh, you can get a part-time job and make money, and I was like, part-time job.
Oh, and the job in the game. I was like,
yeah,
you got a part-time job? Like that's like big deal. I was like, you're about to move, Corey. What are you doing? But,
no,
okay.
It's so every day you have to, once you get past a certain point, you have to manage your time correctly. Which I heard people saying that, but I was like, oh, I hate being timed in games. But it's not like a timer. It's like you have early morning, you do something, school, you do something, after school, and then evening. So whatever activity you decide to do, like in the afternoon, takes up the whole afternoon. Whatever activity you decide to do in the evening, that's the last thing you do, and then you go to bed and wake up and start over. So, like, we have to beat this palace before this certain day, like, because this game goes by days of the week and, like, month and everything. By this certain day, or else game over, you're expelled from school, blah, blah, blah. So, you gotta get as much as you can done before then, so, yeah, I don't know, it's just every single day, you're just, like, doing something new, or, like, trying to level up one of your skills, like your intelligence, like I did a crossword puzzle a minute ago, like, yeah.
Wow. I have been told it's not typical, like, open world, like, type, where, like, they'll let you do everything, like, you're limited.
You're very
like,
limited.
You can do anything, but you're limited to like more than just like, say, like for example, like Witcher or Dragon Age, where you can only like it's super open world, but you can only like become romantic with like one person. Yeah. And this game takes that to an extreme where you can only do certain things with a lot of things rather than just your love life.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, you can level up your like your charm, your intelligence, I think it's called knowledge actually, but yeah. So if you get the teacher's questions right, your knowledge will go up. Your kindness will go up if you like help somebody do something. And then like that's just during like the real world. And then when you go into the palace, now it's like an RPG dungeon basically, sneaking around and like fighting enemies, and like the fights can get kind of hard sometimes, even on easy. I'm on easy, I'm not gonna lie. And I died a couple times.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
When you're in the palace, are you only allowed to be in there like 30 minutes or something? Like, are you timed while you're in the palace, or is it like by level or floors or something?
So it just opened up for me to where it'll like how the actual loop goes, and basically, have you ever played Silent Hill? You haven't played Silent Hill, have you?
Well, again, it goes back to I'm a scared little baby cat.
Well, like a big premise in Silent Hill, which I find fun, some might not, is you'll get the map of the place you're in, and it'll have like every room, every hallway, and like tell you which hallways you've been in, which rooms you've been in. And if you go to a door and it's locked, it'll X out that door. That way, if you get lost, you'll be like, oh, I didn't check this room up here, you know, and you navigate there.
Oh, so that's neat.
Yeah, so these palaces are like that too. And so you have to find them. You have to do a puzzle. Once you get to the map room, get the map, and then you start to fill out the map, and then you'll have to find keys. And like, there's certain things you have to do to get keys. Like, oh, a certain enemy has the key, or this puzzle is how you get the key. And then you'll get the other half of your map, which is the rest of it. And then you're trying to get to a certain point in each palace. So I'm still in the first palace. So
can you beat the palace entirely in one visit?
No, because
like, what forces you to not do that?
So basically, you have to like your first run through the palace, because you're a thief. Like, you're supposed to be sneaky, which you're not really. I mean, you can sneak around people, but I still try to fight everybody for experience. But
yeah.
So your first run through the palace, every time you get so far into it, you'll find a safe room, which then puts a quick travel mark there, so you can quick travel to that safe room. So like, next time you come to the palace, you can automatically go that far into the palace, you know what I mean? So every so far you'll get like that, and eventually you'll get right outside the objective room or whatever, like the thing you're supposed to steal, like from the boss palace room or whatever. Yeah. So once you get up there, you have to save right outside of it, like in the safe room, so you can quick travel there. I mean, you could go all the way through the palace again if you want, but it's stupid. So then you have to leave the palace, and then you have to like basically piss off whoever that like, because the first palace is,
they're like people's brains or something,
basically without spoiling too much.
So sorry.
You have to piss off that person in order for their treasure to be stealable. So you have to leave.
You have to make them like vulnerable or something.
Yes, because like supposedly, like, oh, their desires aren't like a tangible object unless they know that they're there or something. I don't know. So you
have to make them conscious of what you're trying to. It's like Inception, kind of.
Yeah, you have to make them conscious of what you're trying to steal. So you have to like leave, piss off the person, and then like once you piss the person off, you have 1 day to go back into the palace and steal it or whatever. Which that's what I was about to do. I just pissed the person off. So
right. So again, I don't want to get too much into it because I am going to play it and I don't want to spoil it. But could you theoretically, like the first time you go into the palace, make it all the way to like the outside the objective room? Mm-hmm. Like, could you do that in one time?
Yeah, you could. It still like, all counts as one evening. Yeah, it still all counts as one evening. So like once you go to a safe room, it's not like, oh, well, we're done tonight, guys. Logging out. Only when you first start playing, it'll start making you do little chunks like that. I guess it doesn't want to overwhelm you, but eventually it'll just let you out. And like, I just went straight there today.
Okay.
And then you can.
I didn't know if it like forced you to like. It takes 3 adventures to get to the end. Or something.
And while you're going through the palace, you can like break pots and stuff. This is only the first palace. So I don't know what the other palaces are like, but you'll steal stuff, which counts as treasure. And then you go back to the real world and you sell it all, get yen. Buy new weapons, new gear, new, like potions and stuff to load up to go back into the palace, basically.
Okay. So you're like, sorry, just another question because it interests me that you can like level up like certain attributes. Mm-hmm. If you wanted to, could you just like completely? Do you think you could just completely like raise your knowledge through the roof and keep your like kindness at like a 0? That way, you're like a total genius. Pompous jerk.
I'm sure you could, but like, so you stay at this cafe every night, and the owner of the cafe, he tells you, hey, you can study at one of these tables when we're closed, or you can go in the bathroom and get some cleaning supplies and help clean up. If you decide to go clean up, it takes up the whole evening and it raises your kindness. If you decide to go study, it takes up that whole evening, raises your knowledge. So every day you could only study, and just not even try to be nice. And
I'm sure there's benefits to like raising like you like because I know there's like a friend system, so I'm sure different attributes unlock certain abilities or certain friends or something.
Yeah, and then like certain jobs,
just based on my JRPG experience.
Yeah, and then like every job you do, it'll raise certain aspects too and give you money.
Oh.
And then like these higher paying jobs, you have to have a certain level of charm to do them. But while you're working at this lower one, your charm goes up. So yeah.
Okay, cool.
So,
do you like it? You like it?
I'm pretty addicted to it, not gonna lie.
Yeah, do you think you're gonna put in the 100+ hours that it normally takes to beat it?
I think I will. Yeah. The only thing that really sucks is if you don't make it to that next safe room and you die, you go back to the previous one, like the last time you saved. So you lose a big chunk of your palace.
How long does it take you to get to each? With your experience so far, like what's the time period from one safe room to the other?
If you're fighting everyone and stuff, I don't know, maybe 20 or 30 minutes. But like when it happened to me, I had a boss in between there that I like had barely scraped by, and then I got put back right in front of him again. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah, the struggle. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, really fun game. I'm only 12 hours in, so.
And it's the game of the quarter from March to June or July?
March, April,
May, June.
Yeah.
So it's those 4 months, right?
3.
Or are we doing it's 3 months, so it's March, April, May, so at the end of May. It's technically supposed to be done, correct?
Yeah, it won't, especially with me moving in May.
Yeah, so theoretically we'd start the next long game in June.
Yeah.
This is all part of game clubs on Facebook. We do a game of the month. We all vote on one, and then we do a game of the quarter every 3 months. So feel free to join that and submit your votes. It's all random except for Kevin when he rigs it every month.
Which that's like a inside, like long-standing like joke.
Yeah, unless Kevin, you're listening to this, I know you're cheating and I know you're rigging it. Moving on. What something I've been playing. Why? Thank you, Corey. I'm glad you asked.
I was about to ask you.
I beat Spec Ops this week, and I know we talked about it last week. Could you pull up my ratings and read them to me? Because you said you were thinking I was going to change them now that I've beaten it. Because I was on chapter 14.
I was going to tell you, I can't find the Spec Ops ratings. I don't
Did you not save them?
I thought I did.
Did you not hit Control S?
I have everything but the Spec Ops rating.
It should all be on one document, I feel like.
I just made the separate document today, and that's when I realized I don't know where that's at.
Dang it.
I know that I gave it... What did I give it?
Well, if only we had video and audio evidence of what we rated these games.
I found it.
Oh, gosh. Okay,
I gave it an 8, but I don't know what you gave it.
Actually, I think I have mine. Hold on. Don't worry, guys. Unlike Corey, I actually save things.
Hey, I just said I found it.
Okay, so I have it pulled up. Oh, this is number 2. I need number 3 because this is 4. You guys are getting some sneak peeks what goes on behind the scenes here.
And I have our overall list with the because we're gonna keep track, everyone, of like the order of the ratings, basically.
Okay, I have it. I have mine pulled up. So I gave it a 9.5 on story, 8.5 on combat, 7.5 on music, 9 on goal, 7 on art. I would probably agree with those. Everyone hyped up the story before I finished it, and by the time I got to about chapter 13, the end of chapter 13, I had kind of figured it out what was going to... Not like exactly word for word how it was going to end.
What was your overall average?
No, I just told Corey.
You told me each one, not the overall.
You can just add them up and do math.
That's your job.
How is this my job? All right, do you have a calculator? You ready?
Yes, I do.
All right, 9.5, 8.5, 7.5, 9, 7. All right, so those are the 5 things we rate games on, and then we divide them by 5, and that's how we get our overall rating for games, if you guys didn't know. Anyway, so we keep a master list. So an 8.3, yeah, that's about what I'd give it. I don't recommend this game for casual players, but we'll get more into that later. My thoughts on this game haven't really changed that much. It's a very difficult first-person shooter. I played on hard, suicide, third person. Yeah, sorry, third person. The controls are clunky. If they could come out with a remastered version for the PlayStation 4, I'd probably try it again. If they refocus the controls. The controls were the hardest part. I see a cat. See a cat.
This is baby, everyone.
Hi, baby. Isn't that what people do?
That's called ASMR.
SMAR? What's that supposed to mean? I guess I don't know.
You don't know what ASMR is?
No.
Autonomous sensory meridian response.
Yeah. I feel like I just got smarter. But I always just see it as PS. It's like... Anyway, what else have you been playing? You playing anything else you want to talk about?
I've been watching Lorena play Final Fantasy VII Remake. It looks pretty cool.
Oh, man. I can't wait to play that game. If you guys have played that game, let us know, spoiler-free, how you like it and if it holds up to the original, because I've heard it's better.
What's funny, though, is she was like, are Cloud and Aerith going to get together? I need to Google that. I was like, don't you Google anything about her. Don't
Google anything about anything, because it's like part 1 of 5 or something that they're going to release.
I just told her, don't put that girl's name into Google.
Has she never played the original, I guess?
No, she knows nothing about it. And that's her favorite character.
Aerith or Cloud?
Aerith.
I've always liked Barrett. I thought
she doesn't like Barrett, or she does now, but she didn't at first.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. Anyway, another game I've been playing. I continue playing Breath of the Wild, and I have a complaint. I know this is like...
Don't you complain about this game. We don't want to hear it.
I'm probably like 7-8 hours in, and I made it to the first village. I met Impa, who's an old lady in this game. And I'm like, okay, she's super old. Not spoiler alert. Like, I don't think I'm spoiling anything, because like in every Zelda game, Impa's in it, I feel like. Anyway, so she just kind of told me about like what the story encompasses and what I need to do to beat the game, basically. And it's pretty cool, because I like sold all my stuff to buy this Sheikah outfit, and I look like a ninja now, and it's freaking awesome. It like reduced my sound settings. My complaint with this game is that it allowed me to have free roam of the entire world way too early. Before it like lets me, like, it has like really, it like is letting me run while I'm still learning to walk. I'm really struggling with that, because I like to go and explore everything, so I'm just getting sidetracked on all these things.
I will tell you though, they did that on purpose for a couple of reasons. One, the original Zelda does that. Like, you can go to any dungeon you want straight up.
Oh yeah, on the cartridge games.
Yeah, like the original NES Zelda. And also, people complained so hard on Skyward Sword's linearity and overworld that they just went full out the other direction.
Is Skyward Sword release the one directly before this?
Yeah, well, like big main Zelda.
Yeah. Because Skyward Sword's the last game I beat, and I would agree that it's pretty linear, but like it gives you the open world aspect. If you could argue that Ocarina of Time is extremely linear, and people still say that's one of the best games, and I would say that has a lot of open world to it. Yeah, but I would say Skyward Sword is more open world than Ocarina of Time.
But Zelda's typically, since the first one, I can't remember the second one, you have to do the dungeons in a certain order, you know, because you have to get the item to use to get into the next one. And they scrapped that. Ugh. Which I do miss the, like, I like the Guardians. Have you done any Guardians yet?
I've seen a couple that were rusted to the ground and they killed me in one shot.
Oh, not the Guardians. The, what are they called? Divine Beast, yeah.
I haven't seen any of them. I just got told about them.
Okay. I was going to say I like those, but I do kind of prefer the dungeon item aspect. I don't know. Wish there was like a hybrid they could do.
They have these trials that you find just randomly throughout the game. And like they're not that difficult yet. I don't know if they get like increasingly difficult. Maybe I'm just a puzzle genius, but
they definitely get harder. Yeah. And you're a genius.
I mean, let's just call it as it is. Let's just. But yeah, it's a super fun game. I'm enjoying it a lot, and I'm not sure. I really don't mind playing handheld on my Switch, and I don't mind playing it ported on my Switch Pro controller. So I'm not sure which one I like better yet.
You mean docked?
Docked, yeah. Sorry, docked, not ported. Sorry, docked. Yeah. So I'm not sure which one I like better. If you guys have a preference, let me know.
I barely ever use my Switch handheld. Not gonna lie.
Like just in general, like even with Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing, I do a little bit in bed, but I prefer docked.
I prefer docked too. Like I feel like that's how you truly get the best experience. But like the beauty of the Switch is that you can get a very similar experience portable. Mm-hmm. But Breath of the Wild kills your battery quick.
Yeah. So. Hey, real quick, have you seen any of the exploits for Breath of the Wild, like killing stuff? Have you seen the chicken one?
I've seen people like I saw someone's like throw a chicken on a divine beast and like all these chickens come in and kill it.
Yeah, like they bombed it right as he came out and like basically hurt the chicken, and they just the chickens.
Yeah, I have seen that, and I'm like, I wonder if that actually works.
Yeah. Anyways, sorry.
Anyway, yeah, it's super fun. If you guys have played Breath of the Wild, let us know if you like it, because it's Corey's favorite game of all time. No, best game of all time, not his favorite game of all time.
I think it's the best game.
Okay. Moving on to our first game that we're going to really discuss together. It's a section we like to call Dude Play. Now, what is Dude Play? Dude Play started when Corey and I wanted to play through games together and have no real restrictions on those games. And it really started with me coming up to Corey and saying, dude, we need to play this game. So that's how we kind of came up with the name Dude Play. Dude Play does not mean you have to be a male or identify as a male to play it. It can be anyone and everyone. So please play along with us so you can join in on the discussion. Our current Dude Play is Kingdom Hearts Recoded. It is the fourth game in the series on the DS.
Yes.
Is it yes, but we're playing on 3DS for the joystick.
Which we definitely recommend doing that if you're going to play.
Definitely recommend. Or if you guys don't want to purchase the game, I'm sure you can emulate it on some sort of system or
it's pretty easy to emulate.
Controller.
I emulated it for a second, but
yeah, I would like if you can play with a PlayStation controller or an Xbox controller on your PC, highly recommend doing that because it's probably a lot better. So, Corey, without like really diving into it a lot because I know neither one of us beat it, tell me how far you are, your overall thoughts, and like just any frustrations or positive notes you have on this game.
So last time I talked about it, I complained heavily about the platforming aspects, which, while those do still suck, I'm getting used to them. Especially, I went in the settings and turned off auto jump. That helped a lot.
Oh, I need to do that.
Yeah, so that took a lot of the frustrations away. I just finished Wonderland, and
which is the third world, but really the second real world.
Yeah, and that was a fun world. I liked it better than Traverse Town so far. Mm-hmm. Which did you like more, Traverse Town or Wonderland?
Wonderland, definitely.
Yeah, so it brought a bunch of cool concepts, and I'm wondering if like at the end of the first world it turns into like a side scroller, but at the end of the second world it turns into like a what do they call those? Like a unlimited, like a endless runner. That's what it is. Kind of like Mario on the phone. Like you're just constantly running forward and having to jump over.
You know what I compared it to? Because I have notes on this. I put Traverse Town. I put side scrolling reminds me of Mario. Mm-hmm. And in Wonderland, I said free run reminds me of Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah. But don't you have to run forward with Crash though, right?
Yeah, you do. But it's in Wonderland, it's like an automatic run, and you just go left, right, and jump. But it just gave me the Bandicoot vibes.
I think that the auto aim on that was kind of OP.
Oh, I didn't do the auto aim. I just hit.
I auto aimed the crap out. I just maxed them out. Yeah, the whole time. So yeah, at the end of each world, there's like it changes the gameplay basically into like a mini game boss type thing, which I think is really cool. I like that a lot. So yeah, that's my thoughts. What are yours?
Okay. I'm still enjoying it. I'm like 8.5 hours into this game, so I have beaten the next world after Wonderland. Do you know what it is? Have you been introduced?
Olympia. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's Olympia, it's the Colosseum. Have you like started it, or did you just kind of make it and paused it?
I just made it and saved. That's all I did.
Okay, so I won't tell you, but the battle system does change again. It's like the same style, like it's the same idea. Like you still get your same moves, your same power ups, but it's changed again. And I think the battle system at this world has been the best so far.
Oh, okay, good.
Without like telling you what it is, but yes.
So this is your favorite world that you're on?
I've beaten that one. I'm on the next one, but Olympic Coliseum is my favorite world so far. Okay. Although it is the most constricting of the battle systems.
Okay.
So I don't want to get into it, but if you guys have played it, you know what I mean. And we'll talk next week because I'm sure you'll beat Olympic Coliseum by then. Hopefully. So I've started the next world. I haven't seen the new style of battle system in this next world, even though I've started this world. So I'll let you know. But I'm really enjoying the game so far, and I think I think after Olympic Coliseum is about halfway, because how long to beat is usually said about like 15 to 18 hours or so. So I think I'm about halfway done with the game.
I think I'm close to 6 hours in.
And what do you think of the grid level up system?
I like it a lot, actually. Yeah, it's cool. It's really cool.
I am getting a little it took me a little bit to kind of get the hang of it, because I learned that once you get two of the main power CPU processors, like everything in between is leveled up, like doubled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I shot up I used a level up, and it leveled me up twice.
Every time I get one of those, I've been going back and like putting blank whenever I get a blank chip. I put it on one that's not in that. Like if I want to, like I do level ups in those every time I get a level up.
That's smart, because you can't double a blank chip. So
exactly. So I'll take a blank chip, and the two things I try and put in there more than anything are the level up chips and the attack up chips.
By the way, guys, if you don't know what we're talking about, level up system is basically like a motherboard. Like this game is all about glitches and like computer stuff for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, you're like in the cyberspace.
Yeah, so your level up is a motherboard, and you'll collect these little chips. Some of them level you up completely. Some of them are strength upgrades. Some of them are moves. Some of them are just blank. And they all like interconnect on this motherboard. And so yeah. So once you put a level up chip down, you'll level up once, and it could connect you to the next like big thing. There's a bunch of big like abilities and stuff on there. So
like big computer chips. I don't know the technical terms. They're like little CPU chips or something.
Yeah, they call it like they're like processor chips and stuff. They're like, now you're dual processing, everything's double.
And I'm like, okay, let's go. But so, I'm enjoying it.
Me too.
I think probably 2 weeks I'll probably have it done.
I'll try to play some more tonight.
Yeah, and that's what I've been doing. It's not like a super captivating game, in my opinion. Like, I play like 5-10 minutes, and I'm like, okay, I'm kind of over it. So I try and force myself when I like play 20 to 30 minutes every day or so.
If I had a controller, I feel like I'd play longer.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If I had like dual joysticks, I would enjoy it a lot more.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts or anything?
No. Are you? So you're gonna beat it and then go back and watch all the HD cutscenes, right? Because that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, definitely on my PlayStation. I think I have it on PS3. I might have it on PS4 as well. If I have it on both,
do both, double the trophies.
Trophy whores. We are self-proclaimed trophy whores. So, if you guys have played Recoded, let us know what your thoughts are.
We're not gonna rate it yet though, because we haven't beaten it.
Yeah, we haven't beat it. Please don't spoil anything, because we try not to spoil anything too much. Like, obviously, the worlds, we'll say what the world is when we're there, but I don't think that's super spoily, because we don't tell you what happens in the world.
And also, those same worlds are in every single Kingdom Hearts game.
Yeah, I mean, you only have so many Disney worlds.
If you have a cupboard full of Disney VHSs, you know all the worlds.
Absolutely. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the game of the month, and I'll let you kind of introduce it. Do you want to do? I say let's do like the deep intro to it, and then we can dive into our thoughts. What do you think?
Did we not go over all? I think we already went over all this, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Like I think 2 weeks ago, but since like we're doing our deep dive, do you want to just do a quick?
Yeah.
review.
So, our pandemic game of the month, as we discussed, we did an extra game of the month this month because everyone's stuck at home. So, Last of Us 1, which is very fitting. If you don't know what this game is somehow, Naughty Dog developed it, PlayStation exclusive. Came out on PS3 originally June 14th, 2013, and there has since been a remastered version, which is you're seeing on the screen right now. 95 on Metacritic, 8 of 10 on GameSpot, somehow. 8 out of 10, really? 9.5 on Game Informer, and 10
Cowards.
I know, cowards. 10 out of 10 on IGN. The Last of Us is a masterpiece, PlayStation 3's best exclusive, and an absolute must-play, says Colin Moriarty.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we also played the Left Behind DLC, but we'll get to that after we get done talking about the main game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Corey, tell me your thoughts on this main game, Last of Us. Since we both we beat it originally and we went back and beat it again. So tell me your thoughts. I have some notes.
This game is a masterpiece. I agree. Which I'm not saying masterpiece as they say it, because they say 10 is a masterpiece. I don't give it a 10, but it is a masterpiece. My only notes are by all of my ratings. I don't have any side notes, but what are your side notes?
Okay, I've gone through a lot of these, so I don't want to repeat myself, but like the side characters Sam and Henry really tore me up. Like that was such a great addition to the game because it really brings Joel and Ellie together more, seeing other people struggle with the pandemic. So I won't get into that too much. My complaint I have with this is that you have to reload. Like, it's too realistic in this sense. You have to reload to get the full ammo. And so, like, what I mean is if you have a gun that can carry 18 bullets and you have 14 bullets, right? And you have 4 bullets missing from your clip, like a little clip, and you run over a bullet like a gun,
like extra ammo.
You have to like reload those 4 bullets to get to be able to pick up 4 more bullets. And I'm like, come on, like, for being so realistic, be a video game.
Also, I would overload my backpack with every single bullet I could find.
Absolutely. And so like I understand they're going for the super realistic approach, and so I appreciate them like sticking true to character, but at the same time I'm like, come on, you're a video game. Like let me me just pick up the ammo. I thought it was really cool. Like Joel does get hurt at one point, and there's a really good sewing job on him. And as a person in the medical field, I really appreciated that. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Joel is super hardcore. Like especially near the end of the game, you get to see like there's a got him.
Murderer.
Sorry, killed an innocent gnat. Joel is super hardcore at the very end of the game. At the very end and like right before the end, there's like when you're in the winter. Oh my gosh, Joel is like he's doing an interrogation scene at one point. I'm like, oh my god.
He's like, I believe him.
yeah. I was like, I believe him too, Joel. I would tell you whatever you want.
No, you don't know what I'm talking about.
No, yeah, he's like, he told you the truth. He's like, yeah, I believe him.
He's like, what if he didn't tell you the truth? Maybe I can help. No, I believe him. Bah!
Oh, yeah. It was great. Like, great acting. And there's a scene, like, right after that, Joel, like, comes in and, like, reunites with Ellie. I don't want to get more into it, but if you play the game, you know that after the interrogation scene, Joel and Ellie reunite. And it's a, like, crazy scene, right? Mm-hmm. And that whole scene was like I remembered it, but I didn't like. Maybe it's because like I'm about to be a dad to a girl, and I'm just like, man, like this is really just hitting home. Like Joel, the father-daughter semblance. I know they're not father-daughter, but like it was powerful in my opinion. And I was just like, oh my gosh. So now, without going through all of that. Without getting into the details of what it was, did you watch the alternate ending?
No, I forgot.
Oh my gosh. Tell me, like, when we get off here, you got to watch it because it's so good. For those of you who don't know, there's an alternate ending that they recorded. It's on YouTube. Only watch it if you've beaten the game and you like know how it ends because it will ruin the ending for you. But there's a scene at the end where, like, the director, like, they had just finished directing it with live action capture, and the director, like, tells one of the main actors just to change one little thing, and the other actors just went with it, and it was just riveting. I got goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. It was so good. All right, so moving. Do you want to? Is there anything else you want to add? It's a masterpiece. Play it. You play it. This game it hits all the notes. Do you want to dive into the DLC before we rate it, or after we rate it?
I don't know. What do you want to do? I didn't think about it.
I kind of want to rate it and then talk about the DLC because, like, I think The Last of Us in itself is such an amazing experience. They don't need the Left Behind, but the Left Behind, like, adds to the story, you know?
I would say that not needing the Left Behind is kind of like eating a sandwich with no dressing on it or no condiment on it.
I would say it's like eating a sandwich without a beverage. Like, you eat a full sandwich and you're like, man, that's a good sandwich. And then, like, you're like, I kind of need a drink to, like, finish this off. Like, something nice and cool. And then the Left Behind's like, oh, man, that hits the spot.
All right, we'll get more into that.
Yeah, okay. So let's give your ratings. So if this is your first time listening to this podcast, welcome. We love you. Let us know in the comments what you rate it at. But we'd like to break down all the games we play into 5 categories. We like to rate the story, the combat, the music, the art, and the goal. And we rate those individually, and then we give a lump sum, like we kind of alluded to earlier. We give the average, and that gives us our overall rating of the game. That way we can't just throw out arbitrary numbers and be like, oh, this game's a 9.
Yeah. Exactly.
And so we will also rate the trophies and achievements, but that's not added to our overall score because some great games have horrible achievements or trophy list, and some horrible games have easy, great trophy list.
Yep. All right. So, what did you give the soundtrack?
Okay, so for the music, I gave it a 10 out of 10. And I'll explain the reasoning behind it. Not many games get a 10 out of 10 for me, but this game doesn't have an overwhelming arcing. Like, it's not like Doom, like 2016 Doom or anything where the soundtrack just gets me super hyped. But they did a wonderful job, like, with a very subtlety of the music throughout the entire game to display the mood that they're trying to portray. And it really, like, made me feel that. What about you?
I gave it an 8.
An 8?
So I have very emotional scores for scenes. Like, every scene has, like, emotional music that, you know, it's like, it really adds to it. And then a lot of eerie music as well. Like, the music that's playing when you're, like, sneaking around in the dark with, like, clickers around and stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, it's freaking me out. But its subtlety is why I gave it an 8, because, like, I basically didn't even, like, you have to, like, realize, I think it's because you're just so stressed out during the game, a lot of the game, you're not really paying attention to the music.
That's what makes it great, is you don't notice it most of the time. That's why it's perfect.
So, yeah, that's why I bumped it down, because this isn't something I'd bump in the car, probably.
So you're mad that Lil Wayne and Linkin Park didn't do the soundtrack?
No, like, I listen to, like, Ocarina of Time music in the car and stuff.
It's fantastic because it's in a post-apocalyptic world where, like, music's not going to be, like, relevant. You know, like, music, like, I know it is, but, like, it's not, like, it's in the game, but, like, it just adds to the subtlety of, like, nothing's there.
An 8 is a good score.
Empty. No, it's not for this.
Yes, it is.
This is failing. Failing. Gosh, I hate you.
It's the only 8 on my list. It's okay.
The rest are 6s.
Yeah, the rest are 7s to 5. So,
all right, what would you give the art?
The art, I gave a 9.
9.
Because
why a 9?
I put nothing super spectacular, but the character animations are great. The ability to make them have emotion is something a lot of games get wrong. And had this game had the whole dead eyes thing that Mass Effect Andromeda had, it would have ruined the game probably, because, like, you feel emotion when you're looking at these characters, and I feel the character art is part of the art. The environments are pretty at times, but given the setting, we can't expect a lot of color. So yeah, 9, just because if they would have not gotten the character art correct, or like the cutscenes didn't move you with like facial expressions and stuff, the game wouldn't have been what it is. So why? What do you give the art?
The art's a 10, and you're wrong because you just described a perfect game. You described it perfect. Like, what could they have done better? What, like, everything they did was perfect. The subtlety of all the acting, because they do motion capture, was riveting. The the buildings collapsed, the overgrown forestry, like this world, like you felt like you were in a post-apocalyptic 20 years later and on. Not to mention the characters. Like the progression of the characters as they went, like you saw the progression, like that it's very similar to Spec Ops. Like they start off like pretty safe and like secure and like clean clothes, not ruffled, and then Joel gains a beard throughout the game. Like, what more could they have done? Like, and there's
9 is good, Greg.
But what could they have done to make it a 10? Like, what more could they have done? What more would you have wanted? You want it to look like Persona 5? You need
that game's very colorful.
Like, do you want like super spiky hair and oversized bow and arrows? Like, what do you want? Do you want the arrows to light up and shoot like you're in The Legend of Zelda? Like, no, it's realistic.
That'd be cool.
Not in this game. This game is perfect for what they're trying to do. What could they have done to make it a 10?
Hence, it's not their fault that it was a 9.
What you're saying they didn't achieve something? What could they have achieved in the art? Like, you want more collapsed buildings?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. These settings.
The setting was amazing.
They weren't diverse enough to have a 10, and they can't make it more diverse because they're in. I mean, there's.
Did you want them to go to the Grand Canyon as well as Boston and Philadelphia and Salt Lake City? And they created a whole university for you. Like East Colorado University. What more do you want?
That's not art.
They created an entire rundown university with a science building that you deeply explore.
Yeah. It's okay.
Did you want a whole zoo? Did you want a zoo animals just running around? Did you want like animorphs? Like, what did you want?
The post-apocalyptic games can't be that pretty. Like, sorry, it's not possible.
So, to be 10 out of 10, in your opinion, it has to be a pretty game?
Yeah.
It has to be pretty.
Yeah.
The art style is perfect for this game.
They're not going I'm not saying it's bad.
You're saying it's 9 out of 10. You're not saying it's good for this game. You're saying it's, like, passing. Like, what more could they have done to make this game perfect art style?
So, Van Gogh, a lot of his paintings are all over the place. Some people think it's.
So you want Starry Night? Is that what you're wanting? You want swirls in the sky? Is that what's gonna make this game?
I don't think a realistic post-apocalyptic, dull colors that's obviously how it has to be. I don't think that can be a 10.
You're a coward. What's the goal? A 7?
The goal? I gave it a 10.
Thank you. Go ahead. Tell me exactly the reasons why it's perfect, just like you've told me how the music and the art are perfect, and you actually gave it the right score this time.
The goal is a 10 because this game set out to be a post-apocalyptic zombie horror cover shooter with an amazing story. And if you described The Last of Us, that's what it is. It's that. What did you give goal?
What about the goal is a 10. Like
okay.
The other two, like it does exactly what it needs to. It does exactly and more what you would expect from a third-person over-the-action cover-based shooter, loot and shoot. Like it does everything perfect, and then it gives you an emotional tie-in to the characters that build throughout the game. Mm-hmm. Like it does everything you would ever want from a game and more.
Okay, what did you give the combat?
I gave the combat a 9.5 out of 10.
So did I.
I gave it a 9.5 out of 10 because I thought it was for the type of game it is. And it might have been because I played on easy, so take that as what you will. I thought it was a little easy at times for the sense of like, I don't think it's as realistic as it could have been because I think, like if
I don't see Ellie They don't see Ellie.
Yeah, they
even
don't
on
see
hard.
Ellie. They don't see the side characters, even though they're standing right in front. If I throw a brick 20 feet away, like, and there's 20 guards patrolling the area, all 20 guards are not going to go to that brick. Like, they'll send one guy, and when that guy dies, they'll be like, okay, someone's here. You know, like, so that's my only complaint. But like, at the same time, I really enjoyed the combat system. I enjoyed outsmarting these stupid computer systems. And I will say, when you get the bow and arrow, oh my goodness, did I enjoy that. Like, sneaking around, like, I love playing as a sneaky, like, thief assassin in most games, so I was very much enjoyed that, and it was a lot of fun. But
you know what's annoying about the bow and arrow?
What?
Not only can you not get all your arrows back, which is fine, but I don't mind when they break sometimes. Like, you see an arrow laying in like 2 pieces, and you're like, oh, it broke, I can't get that. But I've had multiple times where I sneak up to grab my arrow, and right before I do, I see it on the ground glowing, and it disappears. I'm like,
yeah,
because I took too long. Like, really, just leave my arrow there. But
I wish there was more consistency in retrieving arrows or not. Like, if I shoot a guy with one arrow and kill him with that one shot, I should be able to get my arrow back. Like, just make that across the board. But like, sometimes like I would get a headshot with a guy that's just has no idea I'm there, and it would break like sometimes, and it wouldn't break sometimes. So there was no consistent way to know if I was going to be able to get my arrow back.
Yeah, I yelled at the game. I'm like, I domed him. Give me my arrow.
Yeah, like, it should reward you. Like, yeah. It kind of goes back to the ammo refill thing. Like, realize you're still a video game, even though you're trying to be realistic. And I understand that I gave it a 9.5 out of 10 for it being more too video gamey and not realistic enough. But it's a fine line, and you cross it in some areas and not others.
So I have a quick question, and then I'll tell you my little note by my combat. But please tell me, in Left Behind, you manipulated it to where you'd get the zombies to attack the people.
Oh, absolutely. That was one of the best parts.
Yeah.
And we'll dive into that shortly. Okay, I wish they would have done that more.
It would be a 10 if melee weapons didn't break. Like, I want to just be able to upgrade my melee and just carry it around with me. But then again, it might be OP if you did that, though.
I enjoyed that fact because it was like, you just find a pipe and you're like, okay, cool, I have a pipe. And then you're like, oh, I have some scissors, and the scissors are all pieces of crap, and he like duct tapes the scissors to it, and so when you hit someone with it, like, the scissors sticks in their skull. So like, it's like, okay, well, it shows everything's fragile, and I didn't mind that.
I just think a baseball bat or like an axe should last longer than that.
Yeah, but they're all
Ellie's
wood.
knife lasts forever.
Yeah, her switchblade thing, which was awesome.
Yeah.
By the way, did you notice after you beat the game, like the opening, like, the title screen, the knife's there?
Yeah.
So after you beat it, that's kind of cool.
Did you notice the 2 little spiders that are on that windowsill?
I try to
come
avoid
down on their
spiders. And avoid looking at spiders. Don't like
okay.
spiders. All right. Tell me why the story's an 8, Corey.
I gave the story a 10.
Thank you.
This game is
10 as well. Spoiler alert.
I put, this game is known and praised for its narrative, and rightly so. Hits you in the feels. You grow attached to the characters. All the side conversations you can do really build character personality. Joel and Ellie grow a lot as characters. So, all the side stuff, like, amazing. Like, you get to see
all the jokes that you get with her.
Yeah, like, if you're just standing around, she's like, here, I have some jokes for you. And we get to find out where she even got that book from. Like, that's such a good little subtle throw-in, you know?
Yeah, it's great. Back to the water glass after the sandwich thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also give it a 10 out of 10 for all the things you say. It does everything you want from a narrative adventure. The characters grow, not only closer together, but in your heart. And you become attached to the characters. Like, you'll play some video games and you'll see them get attached to each other, but like, they do a great job of making it real enough to where you start to get attached to them as well. And
yeah.
Not to mention there's twists and turns in the game as well. So,
and I've said it before, but I'll say it again. I like how this game wasn't afraid to end how it ended. Like, you know, like, most stories would not have the balls, I'll just say that, to end that way. Like, in a realistic way. Like,
no, and it really goes, like, the way the beginning of the game brings it full circle. like to where the game first started, and it was just like, that's not spoilers or anything. Like it's like Joel, it might be a better character than Nathan Drake, and I know that's saying a lot.
He is.
But, like I feel more attached to Joel because you get to see his highs and lows, and with Nathan Drake, and the only reason I compare those two is because they're both Naughty Dog and they're both flagship characters for the PlayStation series franchise. Nathan Drake is just like a constant cool guy, like always like quick-witted and like James Bondy kind of, whereas Joel's more of like an average dude where you get to see his human emotions.
Mm-hmm. Like you get to actually see someone decide to be selfish or decide to, like someone actually would be, you know?
Yep, I agree.
Someone actually have revenge and it be fine, and it's not like a coming of age, like, oh, revenge. No, like sometimes you gotta whoop someone's ass. Like it's just the thing.
Yeah, you got to be not afraid to beat them up.
Yeah. So my average.
Yeah, go ahead. What is your average?
9.3 Deku Nuts.
9.3. Oh, we didn't even go over the Deku Nuts.
Oh yeah. So instead of just giving points, we are doing Deku Nuts because, you know, some games have more nuts than others.
And Corey and I are both Zelda nerds. Corey, just a little bit more than me. And Deku Nuts are one of those items in Zelda that you get all the time that, like, I think are underrated, but I never use.
No, I just use them when it tells you to, and then they're gone.
Yeah, it's like... Anyway, so Deku Nuts we thought was a nice little homage. Anyway, so my overall rating is... Hold on, I just clicked it away. Hold on, gotta add it again. Hold on. It is, are you ready for this? You're not gonna believe it, 9.9.
Ooh, I like it.
Because I'm not a coward, and I realize the game is a masterpiece, not a 9.3.
Sorry.
Loser.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about Left Behind.
Not yet. Wait.
Not yet. Okay, never
mind.
We
can.
Okay, wait. Back up again. What would you give the trophies? Because we didn't talk about the trophies any. Like, just... We like to rate the trophies, but we don't put them into our main categories.
I think I got one trophy this game.
For beating the game?
For beating the game and creating one of everything.
I think I looked at it last night, and you got craft every item. So I think you got 2. I think there's only like 9 trophies total, though.
Yeah, so very low trophy score. Like, but we talked about it before. I think that's I think they do it on purpose. They don't want you. They want your focus where it should be, obviously. Okay.
So what would you give it? 0 to 10? Deku Nuts.
I guess 1.
Give it a... Yeah.
What would you give it?
I gave it a 4 out of 10 because, again, like I got more because I originally started playing it to get the platinum, but you have to play through like 2 times because you have to beat the game on any difficulty to unlock the hardest difficulty, and you got to beat the hardest difficulty to get a trophy. And so you have to play through like New Game Plus and then you got to go through New Game Plus to completely upgrade somebody. And I've already explained to you guys, I hate when a game does not give you enough resources to upgrade your character by the end of the game. It makes you play through a second time. Like, I don't mind playing through a second time and getting more upgrades. I just lost Corey.
Yep.
Sorry, so just so you guys know how we work out a little bit, we have a little video chat on the side just so we can kind of see each other because of the way we have it set up. So hold on.
My Skype uses my camera, obviously, and so does the recording software, so it can't be used by... Oops. Can't be used by both, so I have the... Is my internet... I hope my internet's okay. Let me check.
Yeah, mine was dropped due to Wi-Fi frequency, so I just turned it on.
Connected, so hopefully we're good. Anyways.
Hopefully we're recorded.
Yeah. So
anyway, so back to what I was saying. The trophies, 4 out of 10. There's only 10 like 10 trophies, which I don't mind. I don't like that there's online trophies either. So
yeah.
Anyway, now, they could do better on the trophies, but I don't play this game for the trophies. Which is weird to say because I love trophies.
Yeah. You want to get into Left Behind or do
Yeah.
the rank list?
Let's talk about the rank list, and then we'll dive into Left Behind a little bit.
So now, Last of Us is number 1, obviously. Ni no Kuni number 2, Spec Ops: The Line 3, and God of War Ascension 4.
Is that consensus? Since we both do our own ratings, is that consensus across the board?
Yes, like I have 9.3, 9.2, 8, 7.2. You have 9.9, 8.9, 8.3, 7.5.
See, you're as much as I love Ni no Kuni 2, like your Last of Us and Ni no Kuni 2 should not be close.
Yeah.
Do you think Ni no Kuni 2 gets a better art score than Last of Us?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
You're crazy for that. Ni no Kuni 2 is literally art. That's all it is. It's all art.
Last of Us is an artistic masterpiece.
Only because video games are art. Its art itself is not better than cel-shaded Studio Ghibli. It's like, come on now.
You're saying it's art because it's more colorful. Like, that's such a simplistic view of art. Art is more than just colors.
It's not just colors. It's realism doesn't look as good as other, like, that's why N64 games...
You gotta appreciate it for what it does in its own genre.
That's why N64 games look better than PS1 games, aside from the fact that it's double the bits. But super realistic versus... well, realistic now, you know what I mean. Like, a little pixelated Cloud versus Mario. Like, one of them obviously is more artistic looking. Like...
I definitely, like, if you go back and look at, like, some games from back in the day, there's games I would rate their art better, even though they're older games and their graphics aren't as good, because of what they do in their genre, in their time.
It's not just about graphics, because, like, Super Nintendo games, like, are timeless. They look better than probably PS2 games. Like,
let us know, guys, if you're listening to this. Daquan, SNES Mapper, Wayne, whoever's listening.
Ultra realism is not pretty. It's not supposed to be.
Let us know if who's right and why Corey's wrong in the comments below. So Left Behind.
Okay.
Let me know. Give us the rundown, Corey, of Left Behind.
Also, when it comes to the music, they did the same thing with the music that they did with the trophies. They don't want your attention somewhere it shouldn't be.
The music is perfect because you don't notice it, but it still adds to the event. That's what makes it perfect.
I bet you they used 3, maybe 4 songs for the entire game.
Doesn't matter.
I'm just saying.
It's perfect. You don't have to have an abundance of something for it to be great. Moving on. Left Behind DLC.
This DLC was released worldwide for the PlayStation 3 on February... What?
I want to punch you in your face right
now. Social distancing, sir. On February 14th, 2014.
6 foot.
As a downloadable expansion pack to The Last of Us, it was later bundled to The Last of Us Remastered, an updated version of the game released on PlayStation 4 on July 29th, 2014. Whoa, I can't believe that remaster came out that long, like not that long after. Huh.
Yeah, like a year, because Last of Us was like the end of the PlayStation 3 lifestyle, and then it became like a release package with the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, so on July 29th, 2014, it was released as a standalone expansion pack for both consoles on May 12th, 2015. Oh, never mind. I got those dates mixed up. Set in a post-apocalyptic world, players control Ellie, a teenage girl who spends time with her best friend Riley after Riley's unexpected return. Got 88 on Metacritic, 9 out of 10 GameSpot, 8.75 Game Informer. GameSpot, are you serious?
GameSpot gave a higher Left Behind rating than a Last of Us rating.
I know. Like, what are you doing? 8.75 for Game Informer, 9 out of 10 IGN. Left Behind is a must-play for Last of Us fans, especially if they want much-needed context into Ellie and Joel's world. Colin Moriarty. So, I loved Left Behind. I loved it a lot. It's probably the best DLC I've played ever, I'd say. So far.
I really liked I really like the Borderlands 1 DLC, the Zombie Island. I thought that was super.
Yeah, that was fun. That was cool.
Yeah.
But I think this is a very important DLC, though. It gives a lot of... It gives Ellie's backstory, obviously. And a lot of, like, comments she makes in the game, and a lot of, like, little things she does in the main game. Like, you find out why she said that, or where she got it. Like, So it's a lot of subtle stuff if you're looking for it. What did you think about it?
I agree. I think this. I wish they would have added this to the game, but I understand why they didn't, because they didn't want to take away from Joel and Ellie's relationship. So I enjoyed the part because it's like two stories in one. You get to control Ellie as she's taking care of Joel after he gets injured. That's part of the main story. So you kind of get to see, like, because in the main story
there's a time skip. Yeah.
Yeah. Jump. And so you get to see some stuff. Time skip works too. You get to see kind of what happened in between, and you get to control Ellie a little more. And then it also like shows her before Joel, which is fantastic because you get to see you get to see the stark contrast of the two. Like if you hadn't played Left Behind, like you played Left Behind when it came, Last of Us when it came out in 2013, and then when Left Behind was released in 2014. Like a year later, and you kind of forgot what Ellie was like you get to see that contrast before Joel, and then like once she's been with Joel for like a year. So like there's a huge change in her character development, and I really appreciated that. And like you said, you get to see why, like what really happened and all this, and like you get to see how she came into Joel's world.
You know, I kind of think if I could go back and redo like my playthroughs, I kind of would like to, as soon as Joel gets injured and like before the snow scene starts, go play Left Behind. Come back to the snow scene. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like I kind of wish they would have done that, but at the same time, like if they would have, they would have really taken away. Like I think they are really trying to focus on the relationship between Joel and Ellie. And the Left Behind really focuses on Ellie and Riley. So, like, it would have taken away from some of the importance of Joel and Ellie, I think. I think it's right to be a separate thing.
Like, what if let's just say, what if Joel's laying there hurt, even though this isn't really Joel's personality? Say like a picture of Riley and Ellie from the photo booth even. That'd be perfect. They didn't get it, but if it fell out of her backpack and he was like, hey, what's that? And then she starts reminiscing about Riley, you know? And it goes into that part of the game.
But
I think that would have been perfect.
I think it takes away, because Joel's the main character in this game.
Yeah.
Like, and in Left Behind, Ellie's very much the main character. So I think it's right to be a separate experience.
It's also, I guess, a good bridge to 2, when I guess Ellie's probably the main character again.
Yeah, she appears to be.
Yeah. By the way, I watched a trailer of that, or not a trailer, like a gameplay, like 10 minutes of gameplay.
Oh my gosh.
Good, oh my gosh.
It looks so good. And I think it's going to be a PlayStation 5 release at this point, since it's been delayed.
Yeah.
Okay, do you have any notes from the Left Behind DLC?
No. Do you?
Okay, I do, yeah. I took some notes. So you're in a mall for most of the game, in both situations, and I was like, the current Ellie, I was like, man, this is a super creepy mall and doll store. Like, and you go into a pharmacy at one point, and there's like cardboard cutouts of people, and I was like, several times. And so at that point, right after that point, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, something's gonna jump out and scare me. Like I'm about to get scared. Right? And Ellie goes ahead and like shouts like her character. She's like, if you're gonna jump out and scare me, just go ahead and do it.
Did the cat scare you?
Yes, that stupid freaking cat, dude. Like, hated it. Yeah. I even put in there, that stupid cat.
I loved the Halloween store, though.
Oh my gosh, I was just about to get to that. Okay. So, in her flashback, her and her friend Riley get into a Halloween store, and there's some really funny interactions with her. And there's a magic 8-ball called the Skeleseer. It's like a skeleton head.
A skull.
A skull, yeah, skeleton head. It's your skull. And her friend Riley asked it a question, and she's like making fun of Ellie, and Ellie says, "Well, Skeleseer can suck my dick." And I was like, "Oh, this is hilarious." I laughed out loud.
They had a really good relationship. Like,
yeah, it was great. It was a good play off each other. And okay, moving on. You find these characters throughout the whole game, but specifically with Left Behind, you find some survivors that happen. Ellis and Reagan. Like, and so I thought that was kind of cool. I don't know if you did. I found all the little side pieces for it.
Yeah.
And it's like telling a story of how these people ended up at the mall and then eventually died because everyone died.
Didn't he initially try to get them to all go in the sewer with him?
No. That was
in the main game. Something. Yeah.
I really appreciated that because I was like, oh man, this is awesome. I'm finding out the story. Yeah. So,
and then Joel always like comments on it like, oh, I wonder if you made it. Oh, that sucks.
And Ellie did that too. I thought that was kind of cool. She was like, oh man, that sucks. And so I appreciate the little subtleties to that. Mannequins are always creepy in games. I'm just going to say that. They were always creepy. And then I put, I'm not going to add that note because it's kind of spoilery. But I really enjoyed it. Highly, highly recommend if you like The Last of Us. And I'm pretty sure if you buy the remastered version, this is included.
Yeah. What did you play on PS3?
I played it on PS4.
Oh.
It was included.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So definitely play it. I mean, I don't think you should skip it. It's skippable, definitely, but it's like, would you eat dinner and skip your drink, as he says? I mean,
I think, I don't know. I just thought that was great. Like, me personally, when I eat a sandwich, I like chips with it. So I was going to use the chips reference with the sandwich, but I'm like, I don't know if a lot of people like chips with their sandwich.
I'm just thinking condiments. Who's going to eat dry bread with their sandwich?
Yeah, but like The Last of Us is like an amazing experience by itself. So like a dry sandwich is not an amazing experience by itself.
I can see that. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, highly, highly recommend playing it.
Yes.
Any other thing you want to talk about?
Nope, just play that. Everyone, do it.
Play it. Do it.
Also, if you beat The Last of Us a long time ago and you skipped Left Behind, go back and play Left Behind.
Yeah, if you have played Left Behind, let us know. Do you think it should have been included in the original game, or do you think it's better? Left by itself, Left Behind, if you will.
That's a pun.
All right, you good talking about all this?
Yep.
All right. So, Corey, can you give me a transition noise like into the Nerd Corner section?
Wow.
Welcome to the Nerd Corner. Now, as we alluded to earlier in the show, we like to end each episode talking about a nerdy media that Corey and I take turns choosing. And if you guys want something specific for us to check out, let us know in the comments section below, and we'll be sure to
at least consider it.
Yeah. And consider it. Yeah, consider it, depending on what it is. So, if you're just tuning in for the video game portion, we appreciate it. Like I said, like and subscribe to our channels. Follow us on Twitter at IcedGoose and C_stove. Add us on every video game system you have because we're there. Now, this week's Nerd Corner. Can I get that transition sound one more time because that was just amazing?
I think Transforms would be better.
Wow. Transforms into Nerd Corner kind of thing?
No. It was Transformers is the like. What am I thinking of then? It's some other show. Anyways.
No, I really liked it. I thought you did a good job. Can you do it one more time?
No.
I was hoping you would just keep doing it. All right. So I think 2 weeks ago, we went over episodes 1 through 5 of the anime series Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. And so this is my choice again this week. So I wanted to continue the series. So we did 6 through 10. This week, Corey has never seen the show. I have seen the show once or twice. It's one of my favorite animes. And so it's really nice to see his perspective as someone new. And we try and keep our video games discussion spoiler free. But when it comes to the Nerd Corner, it's very difficult to break down episodes of a particular anime, episodes of comic book series, movies without really spoiling it. So spoiler alert now. Spoiler flag is raised to the highest portion.
Yeah.
You good with it?
Yeah.
All right. So this week, we'll give you the quick recap of each episode and our thoughts on each one, starting with episode 6, titled Road of Hope. While Armstrong escorts Edward and Alphonse back to their hometown by train, he spots a man named Tin. What's his? Mark. I can't say his last name. He's an alchemist, the crystal alchemist at a nearby stop. He explains that Tim was a state alchemist and doctor during the Ishvalan Civil War and conducted research on a biological alchemy before disappearing at the end of the war. So, Corey, Episode 6. Give me your notes and your thoughts on it.
I put the box Al is in is fixed after being thrown.
What? Isn't it that great though? Like,
yeah, he's like
Al
carrying around a box.
Armstrong's this huge human being, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he's just like.
But he like throws it, and the box gets all busted up, and then all of a sudden it's like fine again. So I don't know.
Oh man, I gotta figure out how to pronounce this guy's name. Hold on, because I'm gonna say his name a couple times. Go ahead. Continue on your notes.
I have, so a stone can take any form, so the priest stone was real then. A stone doesn't have to be a stone necessarily. Like, it can be a liquid or...
Yes.
So his stone was like sand or something? I don't know.
Yeah, so this guy talks about the Philosopher's Stones and how they're kind of made. Hold on. Gotta pronounce this. How difficult. This wants me to record how to pronounce it. I don't want to record how to pronounce it.
Oh, well.
Marco. Let's just go with Marco. I think that's it.
Yeah, okay, Marco. So it's funny that she was sharpening her wrench. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what
so they do get home to their mechanic, and she's sharpening her wrench. Because they're hurt. Like, when we left them, they had just fought in Scar, and they had both gotten injured deeply, and they got to go home to get fixed. So that's why they're going home.
I bet it's so uncomfortable sleeping with metal parts, because after he got fixed up, he's like sleeping, and I'm just like, I bet that's so uncomfortable to roll over on that metal arm or like on that leg on the other side.
Oh yeah, I never thought about that.
And I have a trivia question. Did you trivia?
I have 2 trivia questions
for this episode.
So for this episode.
Okay,
so I will. I'll give some notes. Philosopher's Stone. I thought it was interesting that the alchemist was like urging them to give up on the stone. He was like, "You don't want to go down this path," and they're like, "No, we got to." So anyway, I thought that was interesting. You see lust again. You see the bad guy. So he mentions the truth within the truth. He's like, hopefully you can find it, because he's like, here's where my research is. Hopefully you can find the truth within the truth. And I was like, okay, cool. I love Armstrong. I think he's hilarious. He's like this super buff dude that like rips his shirt off all the time, and he's like crying because he's so emotional. Like, I love that. I love that character.
He's funny.
And so I said, possible love interest between Winry and Ed. Like, is there some chemistry? There's some chemistry.
You already know, though, if it is or not.
Like, it's just alluding to a possible love interest.
Wait, you're talking about between Ed and her, right?
Yeah, Ed and her. I don't think she wants to make love to a empty, hollow shell of an armor set.
I was talking about Armstrong. I thought you...
okay, yeah. Okay, so I have 2 questions. Since I have 2, you go first, and then I'll go. Or do you want me to go one, and you go one, then I go one?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I'll give you the easy one first. Winry has a dog, and there is automail on that dog. What leg was automailed on the dog?
Front right?
Front left. You suck.
What was there a picture of on the granny's wall?
Oh. In what scene? There's a lot of pictures on the
wall. Usually they're like pretty blurry though, so like this one you can obviously tell what it is.
It was a family. I believe it was a family picture of Ed, Al, Mom, and Dad.
No, it was a leg. She had a picture of a metal leg. That's all it was.
There was one point where they show a family picture of them, and I was like, "Oh, okay." Okay, what did Winry's parents do before they died? What was their job? Ooh.
I don't know, mechanics?
They were surgeons. They were surgeons in the Ishvalan War.
Oh. Yeah, I must have missed that.
Boom. It's like, all right, so did you like this episode?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was obviously like a less intense episode because they were injured and stuff, but...
Yeah, it was like an in-between episode, but it gave great background.
Yeah, it wasn't really fillery, in my opinion.
No. But, I mean, in a typical, like, long-standing anime, like one that's, like, hundreds of, like, Bleach or Naruto or One Piece, this would be what is considered a mixed canon, where there's, like, definitely some canon stuff that's like important to the story, but like probably 60-70% of it's like, oh, just like fill in like time.
Yeah.
You know, they want to tell you this much, but they have to give you it in 20 minutes, so they fill in a lot of it. But it's entertaining. So, episode 7, Hidden Truths. Edward and Alphonse arrive back at Central only to find the first branch of the state library where the research they were looking for was stored has been burned to the ground. So, give me your notes on episode 7, Corey.
Make sure I'm on the... I said I feel a little bad about Gluttony not getting his snack. And
so, for those of you who don't know, they attack Scar. Like, Gluttony and Lust, I want to say, attack Scar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I put Lorena, my fiance. She would act just like this girl when it comes to a library. Like, obsessed. And like, a library! That
so,
girl.
okay, this is not Lust you're talking about. This is the other character.
The book, the library girl. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but like, if someone's just listening to our review, I was...
Oh, okay. Yeah. But
yes, I love that character.
And I put, does Al sleep? Which I later found out he doesn't. Like in a different episode. So there's that. And then I have one trivia. So
I have one trivia as well. By the way, it's Marco. It's Marco, I found out. So Dr. Marco.
Polo.
So the bad guys are against Scar too. I put that down. I was like, okay, so they don't like him either. The bad guy travels underground in the sewers cliche. I thought that was like, we find out Roy Mustang really wants to be the Führer. Like, he comes out and says it. He's like, I want to be in charge of the country. You know? It's a hobby. Yeah, that's what the library girl says. She's like, I'm sorry, I just memorized everything. It's a hobby. Yeah. They mention Flamil and the Philosopher's Stone. Did you catch this? I'm just a nerd, I guess. But if for our Harry Potter fans out there, the Philosopher's Stone or the Sorcerer's Stone is created by a wizard in the Harry Potter world, and it's to give everlasting life. And his name was Richard Flamel. And
they actually reference this.
They mentioned the alchemist Flamel. And in real life, this was a real dude, and he was an alchemist in real life who was suspected of making a Philosopher's Stone, which would grant immortality. And so they bring up Flamel. Like, they bring it up, and I was like, oh, they brought up Flamel. So I thought that was really cool.
Which, by the way, it's only called Philosopher's Stone Harry Potter in the UK. Here it's the Sorcerer's Stone, for those of you that don't know. Yeah,
because they thought Philosopher was, like, too edgy or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Everyone always thinks we're too dumb to get stuff from somewhere else. So.
Hey, I mean, it's whatever. So I thought that was really cool. They found Marco's research, and it was like in like cooking recipes, and they broke it down. Ed and Al were like, "Oh yeah, a lot of alchemists will like put it as normal recipes, but there's really hidden messages." And me being a like guy who loves puzzles and codes and stuff, I was like, "Oh, that would be so cool."
Decoding all that, yeah.
Yeah, decoding it. It kind of alludes to Edward starts to tell Al a secret. He's like, there's something I've been wanting to tell you for a long time, and then it gets interrupted, and you're like, what?
That'll come into play later.
It'll come into play later, but I thought that was kind of cool. They really bring on this whole idea of a government conspiracy kind of stuff. They have like secret meetings, you know, like after they kind of decode the messages okay. Do you want to explain the message that they decoded? Because this is the episode that they go over it.
Yeah, really. Basically, you have to trade human souls in order to get Philosopher's Stone. And is it 2 human souls?
They said many.
Oh, many. Oh, yeah. So they're wondering, like, where are these human souls coming from? I don't know. Like, did they say in this episode where they come from?
Yeah, they do. They find out.
Yeah, they figured out it's from the prison. Basically, if a prisoner's executed, they'll use it.
Yeah, instead of executing them, they sacrifice them to create this human souls, and that's why they're like, "Oh, it's a government conspiracy," because the government has to be in on it. Someone in charge has to be in on it. Yeah. And so they're like, "Don't you sneak into this building?" And Ed and Al are like, "We won't." What do? They're sneaking into the building, and Edward actually like sneaks into a small little crate, and he's like, "Oh, being little actually comes in handy." And then he's like, "Oh, I just called myself little," and I just love that. Okay, now do you have one? That's all the notes I have.
Yeah, I have one.
Do you have one? I have one. So I went first last time, so you go first this time.
How much milk was needed in the recipe she was looking at?
Oh, frick. A liter?
Half a teaspoon.
Half a teaspoon. I don't know. I was close, right?
Yeah, you're pretty close.
Okay. How many days did it take to copy all of Dr. Marco's notes?
Was it like 12?
So just to give a little background on this, Marco's notes were hidden in books in the library. And so Lust in the last episode said, "Oh, I'm going to have to go burn down that library so they don't get the notes." So she burned down the library, and they're all depressed, and they run into this random girl that used to work there who read every book in the library and was able to remember everything from the book. So she starts copying down Marco's notes. And this is how many days it took her to finish the notes for Ed and Al.
Was it 12 days?
5 days.
I kept getting 3 mixed up because that's how long it took. Wait, was it 12 days to fix their arms? No, that's 3. That's where I got the 3 from.
Yeah, it was 3 days to fix their arms because I thought about asking you that when I was like, no, they mentioned it. 12 days, I think, is how long it took them to crack the code. Like, it took them like 10 days, like a week or so to crack the code.
That's what I was thinking of, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I kept
and I thought about asking that too, but Dr. Marco's notes, I was like, oh, they barely mentioned this, so I'm gonna get them good, and I totally did.
We both lost.
Yeah, both lost that round. All right, episode 8. Okay, episode 7. Did you like it?
Yeah.
Was it better than episode 6?
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah. I thought that girl was funny, the library girl.
Yeah, that girl was great. Like, and then she's all upset she's out of a job, and Lieutenant Colonel Hughes is like, "I've got a job for you. You can record everything for me."
Yes.
Which he's great. I love him. I'll get more into him later because he's so great. Episode 8, the 5th laboratory. At the 5th laboratory, which is the laboratory they sneak into where they're making Philosopher's Stones, Alphonse fights Barry the Chopper outside while Edward faces Slicer inside. So, what are your thoughts? Give me your notes.
I thought Slicer, clever name.
Very handy for someone who's slicing with a sword.
And I put Barry is hilarious. Like, he's so
isn't he
funny.
like he's so stupid. He's like, "Shouldn't you be afraid? I'm an empty shell."
He's like, you have no head.
He's like, "Oh, you have no head." Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, these two enemies are bounded souls to suits of armor, just like Alphonse is.
Yeah, so they did it to these two guys to guard this place, basically, like to make them guard. But and then I put, "Why is Al taking Barry so seriously?" I'd be like, "You're dumb," by Felicia, like about the.
But you got to remember, he's 12 years old.
He's 14 and Ed's 15.
Oh, okay. Well, I knew they're young teenagers. Like, teenagers are very easily manipulated. And Alphonse in himself, his character is like he's a very like sweet, naive boy.
Yeah. And then
Sorry, go ahead.
I put, "Is that a girl? Never mind. She said he's gone." At the end of it.
Oh, Envy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep thinking he's a girl because he's like wearing like a crop top.
Yeah, but they were like, "He's gone." So I was like, okay, I guess that answers it.
Absolutely.
And then I have one trivia. I
have one trivia for this one as well. And I have a couple more notes. I love the Armored Knights. Like, it's really cool, like just all this stuff. Lieutenant Colonel Hughes is the best dad / husband. Because he's calling like Mustang, and he's like, "Oh," just like bragging about his daughter, and he's like, "I don't want to hear about your daughter." He's like, "Okay, well, I'll brag about my wife."
And he keeps doing that like episodes after too, like, "Oh, my wife."
Yeah, and then I'm just like, this is who I want to be. I want to be like him. And when there's two people like guarding Ed and Al because they're afraid Scar is going to come back, and so when they find out that they ran away, like the first thing they say is, "Oh no, Armstrong's going to take his shirt off and yell at us again." And I thought that was so funny because I was like, "Yeah, he's going to."
Yep.
You find out in this episode that Alphonse is stronger than Edward, So I thought that was significant. Barry the Chopper is a lame villain because he's not strong. He's just funny.
Yeah.
And Ed refuses to kill people. Like, he has a chance to like defeat his guy and kill him. He's like, no, I'm not going to kill you. You're a person. So I thought that was cool. And so when Barry the Chopper is fighting Al, he keeps like getting defeated. Like, he's like, well, this isn't going quite as I planned. And I love it. Like, I love that slapstick humor from like villains every now and then. They're just, oh, this isn't going as I planned.
Especially when he seemed like whenever he was actually alive, he was kind of maniacal too, you know, like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, he seems like a fun character.
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway, you went first last time, so I'll go first this time.
Okay.
So, Barry the Chopper, who is number 66, gets shot in the hand right before he cuts Al. Right near the end of the episode, like he's about to beat Al, and like he gets shot in the hand. Which hand was shot, and how many times?
I know there were 2 bullet holes.
Okay.
I'm guessing his right hand is right-handed.
It was his right hand,
okay.
Yeah. And I gave it away because I was using my right hand. But
I didn't even think about that.
Cheater.
Speaking of Barry, how many people did Barry kill when he was alive?
23.
Yes. I haven't counted all the crosses to make sure that there was 23 crosses.
He said 23, and all these crosses popped up. I was like, I'm not going to count those because I did think about this.
I paused it.
Yeah. Well, okay, so Fifth Laboratory gets destroyed. They don't get to do any real research other than like Lust and Envy did like show up, and they're like, "You're not supposed to be here." Okay, so did you enjoy this episode?
Yeah, this was the best episode so far, like out of the ones we watched this time.
Yeah, I agree, and the fight scenes were really cool.
Yeah.
I
like how there was like two different dynamics going on at the same time.
Because we've really just been seeing Ed and other alchemists use alchemist powers, so it was cool to see Al fight with like just fist to fist, fisticuffs, you know.
And Ed could have died pretty easily.
Yeah, he was getting his butt whooped. It really reminded you that he's like, oh, this kid's like 15, 16 years old and he's human. You know? Yeah. All right, episode 9, titled Created Feelings. Edward is hospitalized following the incident at the Fifth Laboratory. Needing his automail repaired, Edward calls for Winry to come to Central to fix him up.
Which she's very flattered by.
What are your thoughts? Give me your notes. And do you have any questions?
I have no trivia.
I do not have trivia either.
I said I find it weird that Al is taking this to heart so much, and if so, talk to Ed. I mean, I'm sure he's seen pictures of himself and stuff. Like, I don't know.
Explain to the audience, like those who might not have seen it, what you're discussing.
Barry told him in the previous episode, basically, are you sure you're not just a puppet created by Ed? Are you sure you are his actual brother and you used to exist and all your memories aren't just fake, basically? And this really went to Al's head. Like, he's getting all butthurt. Like, oh, what if I am just a puppet? My memories are all fake. And it just seems like something I would brush off if I were him. But he really is upset about it.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because it's like, how do you really know?
Yeah.
Do you really know?
Because Barry told him the only way to find out if you were a real kid is to break your blood seal thing. And if you die, then you were actually a person at one time. Basically trying to trick him, and he didn't get that for some reason.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's a kid.
Yeah, he's a kid. 14. But, yeah.
Okay, keep going.
So, that's just... I think it's on my note. No, wait. There's a cake holder in my family that looks like the little girl's birthday cake. Like...
Okay.
My grandma had it was like a glass white cake like that with strawberries all over it, and like you lift it up and you put your cake in it, you know, and it's a cake cover thing. And it's like my aunt has it now after my grandma dies. So yeah, it's been passed around. I was like, whoa, that's weird. Looks like our cake holder thing.
I take way more notes than you. Because
I was in pain today whenever I wrote these.
Okay. So what happens is Winry shows up and she can't just fix Ed in one sitting. So like Colonel Hughes shows up again like he does, and he's like, you got to stay with my amazing daughter and wife, blah, blah, blah. So she stays over, and it happens to be his daughter's birthday. So she gets introduced. Those characters get introduced a bit while she's fixing up Ed. So my notes are Winry forgot a part. So really, like, it's her fault that Ed's hurt. Edward refuses to drink his milk, and everyone continues to say that's why he's short. Colonel Hughes popped up again, and another example of why I love this character. He pops up. He's like, "Oh, I didn't realize you got a pretty blonde girl here to service you." And he's like, "Oh, seducing your mechanic, huh?" And I'm like, "This guy's so."
Can you hear my dog?
Yeah, I can, but it's not bad.
Okay.
Yeah, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, I thought it was. At first, before I realized how he was about his wife, I thought it was kind of weird. He's like, "She can come stay with me." I was like, "What a creeper!" But then I was like, "Wait, he's obsessed with his wife." So
yeah, he's just very welcoming and hospitable to everybody. Yeah. And it's fantastic. So he continues to be the dad I want to be. Rennie has a huge freaking wrench that she just carries with her everywhere she goes. Apparently, she hits Al with it at one point. I'm like, dude, that wrench has to be heavy.
Yeah, and she sharpens it.
Yeah, it's so weird. So it explains what Ed was going to tell Al, this big secret, and it's that he's just plagued with guilt. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was significant. It was like he feels so guilty about Al losing his body, and.
Yeah, but the whole time, Al thinks the secret is he's not a real person.
Yeah, and so Scar and the guy that they keep showing these glimpses of a guy in prison, and they only show his hands. So it shows Scar survived his fight from a couple episodes ago, and it shows him and this guy with these hand tats they have history. He's remembering an encounter, but it doesn't show the encounter. It's just they meet, and you're like, oh, okay. And so Scar's alive, and his right arm is covered in tats. And as someone you guys can see, I have tattoos and I love tattoos, and I was like, his arm is freaking wicked. Yeah. What are your thoughts on this episode? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I still like the one. This is another one of those kind of in between episodes, but I mean, it wasn't bad. No,
because it was boring in the sense of not a lot of action, but it kind of explained more of Ed and Owl's and Winry's relationship. So
yeah, we find out Winry is kind of into Ed more.
Yeah, kind of, and she feels left out of their lives a little bit.
Yeah, she's kind of flattered that he invited her there. She seemed like it to me. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. I got that same sense.
Yeah.
All right, episode 10, the last episode that we watched, it's called Separate Destinations. Führer King Bradley appears at the hospital and warns the Elric brothers to be careful around the military, and then he exits through a window to evade his subordinates. Ed and Al decide to go to the town of Dublith to visit their alchemy teacher to ask her for information about the Philosopher's Stone and to train. What are your thoughts on this episode? And there's something major that happens in this episode, so I know that's probably going to be our main talking point.
I put lots of the funny animated stuff in this episode, with them arguing and stuff. Yeah. Then I was like, domed her, didn't kill her, but good shot.
Yeah, so Hughes gets attacked, and I'm like, dude, Hughes is a stud, because he's avoided her, and he has this knife in his back pocket, and he's like, I was like,
throws it right into her forehead.
Right into her forehead. This episode started off with recollection from the War of Mustang and Hughes, and supposedly this war happened a long time ago. I don't remember the details of it, but it shows that even during that time, Mustang was like, yeah, I need to be the king. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was cool.
And then I put, oh my gosh, why must they use kids to make me sob like a baby?
Oh my god. Okay, so Hughes dies.
Yeah.
Hughes discovers something. He's doing research over the Philosopher's Stone, and King Bradley shows up, and he's like, hey, I know you guys are talking researching the Philosopher's Stone. I have also been researching the Philosopher's Stone, and something's going on. Someone's involved in the higher ups. Do not tell people that you're researching it because you're in danger, basically. That's how the episode started, right? So, it kind of shows that Hughes is, researching it with his team, and it's obvious he discovers something. It doesn't really go into it, and he's like, I gotta go tell people. I gotta go tell Mustang. And that's when he gets attacked. And
yeah.
Like he tries to make a call in the building, like in the military building, and realizes he can't make it for whatever reason. Like he has to go to an outside payphone.
Because he's not supposed to be divulging any info, and yeah. So he's like, yeah, I'm going to leave. Act like you didn't see me.
Yeah, and he's bleeding at this point.
Yeah, his blood everywhere.
Like he calls Mustang, and he has to give a secure line, and before Mustang can even pick up, like he dies. And so...
Yeah.
Oh my god. And the part where you're talking about is at his funeral, and his kid starts bawling like, how's Daddy gonna finish his work? Why are they putting him in the ground?
Why are they throwing dirt on Daddy?
Like, I legit teared up, like, because it shows all these characters like crying and stuff, except for Mustang. Mustang doesn't cry, but it shows like Armstrong. He cries at everything, but it's showing everyone just bawling. And I was just like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Yeah. Don't cry, don't cry. Okay, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I have 2 trivia questions.
Okay. So after that, it shows that Mustang is like at the grave by himself, and his lieutenant, who's always there with him. And he's he like it. I thought it was really cool because it like brings Mustang into the need to figure out what's going on with the Philosopher's Stone. You know, like and this part like made me tear up too, because he was like, "It's a horrible day for rain," and she's like, "It's not raining." He said, "Yes, it is." And it's like showing him, and he's just crying, like just there by himself. I was like, man, that is so freaking cool. Like, you know, like,
yeah.
He's such a cool character, and I freaking love him. And I don't know if do you follow Barrett on Twitter? Barrett from Kind of Funny.
I do, but I haven't seen anything lately.
So Barrett is a producer at Kind of Funny, and if you guys don't know what Kind of Funny is, it's a video game corporation where not a corporation, it's like a media.
They're kind of like IGN but smaller scale.
Yeah, basically. And Barrett on Twitter like started like recently watched the Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood and talked about how much he loved Mustang. And so I was like, I agree. Mustang's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Dumb Kid Breaks My Heart. Terrible Day for Rain. Yeah. And at the end, him and Armstrong are like talking, and Mustang's like demanding. He's like, tell me what's going on. And he's like, I can't tell you. And they're like talking, and like you can tell they're like he's trying to tell him stuff without telling him stuff. And then he leaves, and Mustang breaks it down for like not only his lieutenant who was there, who was like, why didn't he tell you? He's like, well, he told me this and this and this and this without telling me anything. And it like breaks it down for the audience, and I thought that was really cool. I was like, these guys are awesome.
Yeah.
I also have one trivia, but I just wanted to break down that episode because it's like very important. I feel like
super important. It's funny that every 5th episode seems to be like crazy important so far.
I know, it is. It's super crazy. It might be by design, but I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. My first trivia is, what did Ed refer to when the girl asked what she missed at the first of it? When the guy scurried away at the beginning.
Oh, so when King Bradley was leaving and they're all freaking out because their king of their country jumped out a window.
Yeah, and when she came in, like, what did I miss? And Ed said something.
He said a tornado, right?
He said a tornado passing by or something like that.
Yeah, tornado passing by. Okay.
All right, your turn. You might have the same trivia question I have.
Okay, so my trivia question is, what is the current year in the anime?
Oh.
And I'll give you a little hint. You learn this by the dates on Hughes' main stone, on Tombstone.
Oh, I don't know. 1890?
1914.
1914.
So
1890 is when the mom was born, isn't it? Like, I keep getting these something like that.
So he was born in 1885 and died in 1914. So it's currently 1914.
Okay, so what was the code used on the phone?
Oh, frick. It was like Snow Ultra Alpha 867 or something like that.
It was Uncle Sugar Oliver 800 or USO 800.
USO 800. Okay, yeah, I was like, frick, I don't remember. Because that whole scene, he's like bleeding out, about to die, and you can tell like the music was building up. I was like, no!
Yeah.
Because, like, obviously I knew he died because I've seen the show, but it was, like, I feel more attached to the character this time around for whatever reason, and just, like, how great he is.
Yeah.
I was like,
You knew they were going to build him up and kill him just because how nice they made him look the past 2 episodes.
Yeah, because he's always popping in, and he's so great. And what's crazy is, like, Ed and Al are on their way to see their teacher, right? And Winifred's going with them because they have to pass through a super automail town, so she's freaking out. And they're talking about how great Hughes is. And they're like, when we get back, like, he's always there. And he came into the hospital every day, hung out with me. Like, when we get back, we got to do something nice for him. So they don't even know he's dead. Yeah. And it's like,
But yeah, these are good episodes, I thought. I'm happy we continued. And hopefully we'll continue again in the future.
Yeah. So that kind of, for those of you who don't know, that wraps up this nerdy media. We reveal what the next week is right now. So without further ado, Corey, I will give you a boob roll.
I'm going to do something a little different this time.
Okay.
I'm going to do unless you've already seen it. If you've already seen it, I'm going to I have a backup. The Ni no Kuni movie on Netflix.
On Netflix? I have not seen it, and it's on my list. I've added it to my list.
All right, so that's what I would like to watch and discuss. Like, while Ni no Kuni 2 is still kind of fresh in our minds.
I don't know anything about it, but I don't know if it really involves either the Wrath of the White Witch or Revenant.
I'm sure it doesn't, but I just, while we're still kind of fresh off of Ni no Kuni 2, I'd like to.
Absolutely. I think it's came out before Revenant Kingdom, right?
This just came out recently.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Like end of 2019.
So it's on Netflix, right? It's a Netflix original movie, right?
Yeah. So watch it, peeps.
Watch it, let us know, and we will discuss it in links. If you guys have watched the first 10 episodes of Fullmetal Alchemist and have some comments and want to talk about how cool Roy Mustang is, let us know. If not, just like the video and comment below. Say how goofy we are, because we are kind of goofy. So, any last words, Corey, before we sign off?
Nope. Just be sure to subscribe to the personal channels and the Gaming Central channel and join the groups and,
follow us on the Twitter sphere, because
Twitters and Instagrams.
I've been posting a lot of stuff about the draft, the NFL draft, if you guys kind of a sports nerd too, but I do post a lot of video game stuff there.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you guys for hanging out. We will see you next week. You guys stay safe out there.